Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxi Chronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we've got a guy who's an avid lover of water sports, like myself, but the only difference with me is I only do water sports in hot countries, hot tropical countries. But nice to have you here today, Raymond.
Pleasure.
Okay, so tell us, what water sports is it that you love?
Yeah, I like kite surfing. I did a bit of surfing as well, but I think once I discovered kites, I quickly pivoted towards more kite surfing. So those would be the main ones. Then I do a bit of diving, but not really sure how sporty it is.
Oh no, I've dived before. So when did you start kite surfing?
That was probably two and a bit years ago.
And just to make sure we're clear, kite surfing is where you've got the surfboard and you've got the kite. It's like a triangle.
Yeah, you have a power kite, can kind of different shapes, but yes.
It's like a triangle, you're holding on to the rod along the sail.
Yes.
So that's what you do.
Exactly.
Now, do you do it like you go on waves and breakers and do like twists and turns and jumps, or do you just power along?
I think powering along, it's not kind of as exciting, so yeah, it's more about, jumping and doing twists and turns and all of those things.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this for?
Just a bit less than 2 years, but you kind of need the conditions and the place and the wind to be good, so it's not 2 years of pure experience. It's more like 4, 5, 6, 7 trips where I've done that.
Okay. Have you been doing this in England or when you was traveling in Asia and South America?
No, I haven't been doing this in England. I think you can obviously do it. You have, I think, reasonably good spots, but I was mostly doing it during my travels, South America, a few times in Africa.
Africa? Whereabouts in Africa?
In Morocco and Tanzania.
Okay, yeah, I've been to Tanzania and Morocco. What, El Salam in Tanzania? The capital?
Yeah, so I skipped the capital. In Tanzania, I went to Zanzibar.
Oh yeah, I've been to Zanzibar as well, yeah.
Out of Zanzibar. It's a great place.
Did you go to Old Town or were you in the north part of the island?
I went all around the island actually, so I've been...
really tropical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Really tropical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Mm-hmm. So what skills does someone need to know who's considering getting into kite surfing?
I'd say, some things help. So any kind of experience on board-related sports like snowboarding, skateboarding, it certainly helps you with balance. And then general fitness helps, but then anyone can do it really. I know people who are in their 60s who just started and they're able to get on the board and then do jumps and tricks. So I think, that's the cool thing about kite surfing. It's really more about understanding the technique, and then you can do it until you're,
It must be really good for your core, for your spine, because you're having to keep your balance all the time.
I think so, probably. You can certainly feel your abs working out quite a bit once you're doing, the jumps and everything. But yeah, essentially you have a harness around your waist, and then it kind of just pulls you up with the power of kite.
We're talking about two different things. You're talking about attached to a speedboat when you go out with the parachute.
I'm going with the parachute.
Yes, I thought you were talking about the surfboard thing.
You still have the board.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, no, so it's a power kite, so you have the board, but the kite is pulling you upwards. And so you can go into the water and do tricks and jumps and whatever you want.
But the boat is pulling, or you got a parachute attached?
No, it's a parachute-like thing. It's called power kite.
I think I'm going to have to go on your Instagram and snap a photo of what you're doing, because I'm kind of confused. I know there's different activities. I don't know the correct terminology, but I'm learning. So removing a log like that. Did you? I found a lot of people in Kenya.
Yep.
And Tanzania, which shares the same coastline. There's a lot of sea urchins. Did you find that you needed to wear special shoes to protect yourself from sea urchins?
Down there in Tanzania, no, there wasn't a need for that. Here we go. I can show you a picture of kite surfing, just so you figure out how it looks like.
Talk of that. Ah, yes, that's what they used to do in Kenya. So, guys, just to let you know, it's a guy with a parachute, and there's no speedboat. You said there's a speedboat.
No
speedboat. It's just a surfboard, and you're harnessed to the parachute. And as the wind blows the parachute, you get dragged along the coastline, and you could do jumps, twists, and turns. So that's what they was trying to get me into when I was down there, but I just didn't bother. But yeah, people do that down on the coastline in England, where you get a skateboard with wheels, and you just get the wind catches the parachute, and you just go along the beach on your skateboard. But obviously, you need to understand about wind direction, because you could get taken really far one way, and then you have to walk back.
Yeah, no, it's
with the parachute and the board and everything. So, have you got your own equipment?
I don't have this. I had a few kites back in Lithuania, but it's there's a lot of equipment, because you need different sizes of kites, and then the board, the harness, so it's kind of...
And washing them down, drying them out.
Yes, it's a hassle to carry them around, so I think at some point, once I'm settled in one place, I'll buy everything, but now I'm just mostly renting out.
So how long you plan to be in Mexico? You can do the Mexico City, is that on the coastline?
No, it's landlocked, so unfortunately. But the flights are pretty convenient. You can get to the seaside quickly.
Okay. Oh, fly to the seaside.
Yeah. I'm
in the wrong industry. No, I'm flying over there. I'm just going there for the evening. Unless you're flying with the cartel.
No cartel.
Have you seen the Norcus?
I've seen the first 2 seasons, I think.
Did you see the Mexican Norcus or the American one? The Mexican.
The one on Netflix, but it's not the...
Yeah, there's both on Netflix. There's a Mexican one that's in subtitles, and there's no English language apart from when the American guy's speaking.
I wouldn't remember, because I'm fluent in Spanish, so it's hard for me to remember whether they spoke. So
you speak Spanish, Lithuanian, and English?
Yes.
You really check out the big brains and Raven, man. You're intelligent, man. Okay, so that's what also you're an attribute there in South America then. But you speak... When did you learn Spanish?
During my gap year.
Really? 1 year?
Yeah.
You just went off and...
No, I actually just studied it for 2 months. At the end of the gap year, I thought that it would be good to, learn something productive rather than just travel for an excessive amount of time. So I settled in Guatemala for 2 months, and I just studied Spanish every day, kind of for 5-6 hours with a tutor, and it really helped me to kind of improve my Spanish.
Yeah, it probably secured your job now.
Yeah, it certainly helped.
Yeah, because that's a big thing. If you're dealing with finance, you can see what's going on. But the problem is when the cartels come along, you can understand. You can't say, no comprende.
Yeah.
And stuff. Okay, that's interesting. So, have you had any situations on the surfing industry where you just thought, "Oh, I need to be careful there," because you nearly crashed, you nearly injured yourself? Is there a lot of injuries involved?
I think it's actually not a very dangerous sport if you're just following all the safety measures and you're not doing stupid stuff. Because in the water, it's kind of, unless you get tangled to another kite or you have some hard object in front of you, there's nothing really that can injure you that much unless you're jumping super high and then falling very heavily. Most of the injuries happen when you have either someone who is a rookie and doesn't understand what they're doing, and then it's most often kite dragging someone on the land and then hitting something, which can be pretty dangerous. or you can get injuries when you're like super advanced and you're jumping very high, and then people can sometimes get injured as well just from the crazy tricks that they're doing. And I think I kind of was safe enough when I was just that very beginner level, and now I'm kind of in the a little bit more advanced phase where I'm still not doing the tricks that can get me seriously harmed. So that's a good spot to be in, I'd say.
So this kite surfing is something that you're going to do no matter what?
Yeah, I think it's a very cool hobby because I've tried many things in my life, and I think this one is kind of the one that really gives you so much excitement and so much joy, and it's a very interesting sport, gets you close to nature, and then the community of kite surfers, it's also pretty great. I think all the people I've met were very interesting, and just great people in general.
What other sports did you try? You spoke about other sports.
So I think in terms of the land sports, I've tried everything, give or take, and then water sports. Surfing is good, but then it kind of requires you so much effort and many months and years of practice to get kind of beyond the beginner level. So I think standing on the board, it's easy, but then you want to do tricks and go up and down the wave, and it's kind of it takes a lot of time. I think with kiting, the exciting stuff it just happens so much quicker, so much more natural. Windsurfing is a bit too boring for me, and I think it's a similar thing where it takes many years to be able to do jumps with windsurfing and stuff. It's just kind of high speed endeavor that you can go for.
You can do jumps though?
Yeah, with kites, with kite surfing, yeah, I can do jumps.
Okay.
It's not super hard. You can learn it within almost weeks, I'd say.
And the impact of when you are landing, does that resonate through your spine? How does it? So I know you probably land with your legs bent.
Yeah, so because kite is always pulling you up, you don't really go down with full power. So if you had a 3-meter jump, it doesn't mean that it feels like you've jumped barefoot from 3 meters wall or something. It's you have very little power because kite is still pulling you up.
Okay, that's good. Well, we wish you well on your way to Mexico, in your journey, in your future endeavours, and what can I say? Thank you for enhancing our lives in the sense of kite surfing.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. We hope you liked that Taxi Chronicles interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in a continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.